And not to mention the torture stuff is just being laughed off, including on the Fox Business Network. Fox Business Network put together this bizarre, I don't even know whether to call it a feature or, I don't know what the right word is, Lewis, but they had a number of different things on waterboarding. And one of the first parts is that they did a who would you like to see waterboarded thing. Just listen to this. Listen to what's going on Fox Business.
Death swept the world. Some Twitter folks were left asking, who is this bin Laden guy anyway? That's right. Some people ran to their computers, checked their news feeds, and wondered out loud into cyberspace, who's that? Unbelievable. But the info that brought the terrorist in chief to justice was gotten through waterboarding.
Right.
Simple as that.
Incorrect.
I want to know who else at home who you thought should be waterboarded.
Yeah.
So, Louise says, waterboard Joy Behar. Patty says, Senate Dems, and then Obama, and then the kooks on The View, starting with Joy. Jerry says he wants to see Alan Colmes get waterboarded.
Right.
The secrets of the left-wing cabal will come pouring out of that boy. Sky's a bit more sentimental. Go ahead, waterboard my ex-wife.
Okay, so this is hilarious, right, Lewis? This is a funny segment. Fox Business Network, I don't know what business they're talking, doing a segment
Monkey business
on who do you want to see waterboarded. And of course, they're all liberals, no question about that.
Waterboarding, which my senior military sources tell me, you wake up feeling fine the next day.
Right, you wake up feeling fine.
Who was that, Dana Perino?
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, oh wow, yeah, she was great.
And what's going on? What business is, you know, I get the Fox Business Network now. I just changed my cable box, my plan, whatever, and now I actually get Fox Business Network. And I flipped over to it a couple of times. It's just nothing. It's completely void of anything. There's just nothing.
Of any substance?
There's no substance. It's actually, if you could even imagine regular Fox News scaled up several times, that's basically what it is. And then Eric Bolling goes on to say that it's basically like what his 12-year-old does on the weekend. Take a listen.
Hold on, let me just go through this. Here's enhanced techniques: waterboarding, hypothermia, stress positions, abdomen slaps. The other alternatives are yelling loud, loud music, sleep deprivation, barking dogs. By the way, that's a typical weekend at my house with my 12-year-old son.
Right. Wow. I feel are child services involved here with Eric Bolling? His son is getting slapped in the abdomen on the weekends. Who's slapping him on the abdomen? Is it Eric Bolling himself? Is Eric Bolling admitting to abusing his kid? I mean, what typical weekend is this? Waterboarding and abdomen slapping, apparently. Somebody needs to get to the bottom of that. I feel sorry for his poor son.
I feel sorry for his son, but not because of this.
And then what do you feel sorry for his son for?
Who his father is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, then we have Lawrence Wilkerson,
earlier tonight,
who is Colin Powell's former chief of staff. He says, let me waterboard Rumsfeld, and then we'll see if he still thinks that it's torture or not. And he really has been doing a lot of press recently and saying a lot of brilliant stuff about a lot of, just bringing up the obvious question. I thought we didn't torture. All of the debate about waterboarding, it didn't work, we did it, we didn't, it was the CIA who did it, it wasn't. I thought the U.S. didn't torture, Lewis. I guess I was wrong.
Thoughts on that?
Well, my former boss, Colin Powell, recently said that Donald Rumsfeld was delusional and deceptive, and he could prove both points. My former boss is right. And on this issue, Donald Rumsfeld is more delusional than deceptive probably than any other. First of all, his last statement about hordes of intelligence is preposterous. It didn't produce hordes of intelligence. In fact, I never saw any raw intelligence pass my desk that came from such things, that was actionable, that really led to any circumstance at all that produced a result that was positive. Secondly, Donald Rumsfeld only has as knowledge what his bureaucracy gave him. And he wasn't there. He wasn't at the site. Multiple tiers of bureaucracy gave him the information that he has. And he made damn sure that that bureaucracy was sycophant. Yes men, yes women. He made sure that the people working for him told him what he wanted to hear. So one has to expect that Donald Rumsfeld heard what he just said, and that was that actionable intelligence was produced by these procedures. It's preposterous. And let me say one last thing. As Christopher Hitchens said, after he was actually waterboarded, this is torture, changing his view. Let me waterboard Donald Rumsfeld, and then we'll see if he says it's torture or not.
So Lawrence Wilkerson, Lewis, taking absolutely no prisoners on this one. Fired up, huh?
Yeah, but you'll remember, Dave, that George Bush said that he was told that it was legal to waterboard, that it was not legally torture.
Yeah, well, George W. Bush said that.
Right.
That's basically, there's no rebuttal. George Bush said that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
George W. Bush said a lot of things.
And if the CIA, if our government classifies waterboarding as a legal form of interrogation, then it's not torture.
Ed Schultz went on to ask Wilkerson why he thought Rumsfeld was doing this, and Wilkerson said he has to cover his rear end because there are foreign countries right now being worked by lawyers there. And one actually kept. Remember when George W. Bush was going to visit Switzerland? The trip was canceled. We were told because of some scheduling conflict. It was because Switzerland was considering arresting Bush. Mm-hmm. So I think that we are going to continue hearing this, obviously touted by all Bush administration officials, with the exception of the rare outlier. And I think that that's just what it's going to be. Let's take a break. Make sure to join us on Facebook, facebook.com/David Pakman Show. Next up is Jeff Thompson. He'll be in here. It turns out rich people don't run from high-tax states to low-tax states. Go figure.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.